This topic will make a lot of people uncomfortable, but I would feel guilty to not mention it. Uh, I don't know if you heard what's going on in Sudan. That country has been in different civil wars almost since the beginning, and the current one started in 2023, only a few years after the previous one. So the violence itself is not the news. But what makes it different this time is the scale. Last Friday, one of the combatants, the RSF, just captured a city they had been sieging for 18 months, Fasher. And there's evidence that they started killing people door to door, indiscriminately. I don't want to repeat the details because it's pretty traumatizing. Feel free to search the report from the Yale Humanitarian Research Lab. So blood and piles of executed people can be seen from satellites. Some sources on the ground said it was the worst mass killing event since Rwanda. The Rwanda genocide, by the way, happened in 1994, which means for Gen Z and Gen Alpha, this is probably the worst mass killing in your lifetime so far. So I hope you take some time and learn about it. Even though it's in Africa, it can happen anywhere in the world if the conditions are ripe. The Yale researchers were told by the local contacts that at least 10,000 people died in just 3 days. And soon after, they could no longer reach their contacts anymore and have to assume that they died as well. Right now, there are about 250,000 people trapped in the city, and there's no way for the outside world to learn what's going to happen to them. I talked about it with my kids, and they asked me why. Why do they have to kill so many people? I didn't know how to answer because honestly, I never thought about it. So I talked to an AI a little bit. I know it's embarrassing. AIs are not reliable. But sometimes when I'm eager for an answer, I can't help. And the AI gave me a few possibilities, like preventing resistance, robbing their houses and properties. So I was like, why did they also kill people who tried to flee the city? They're not even a threat anymore. And the AI said something pretty chilling. It said maybe they wanted to stop the information from getting out. That actually makes a lot of sense. So I was like, wow, if one day AI starts to kill us, they sure have all the strategy mapped out. But anyway, this event is extremely sad. What makes it even sadder is how many people never heard of it. You open any media front page, it's hidden in a corner that you have to keep scrolling down to see. I watched some reporters asking the experts how to stop the killing, and none of them had the faintest idea. There's just no way to garner enough political will in Western countries to do jack shit about it. Not even diplomacy, let alone military intervention. The trickiest part of the conflict is that the main financer of the RSF, the perpetrator of the mass killing, is the UAE, the United Arab Emirates. You heard of Dubai, right? The most luxury and pretentious city in the world, where white people go to find the most expensive prostitutes and maybe some food to post on their Instagram. I don't know, I've never been there. So the UAE has some natural resource deals with the RSF. So they want RSF to win regardless of how many people get killed along the way. And do you know what else the UAE did a few months ago? It invested $2 billion in Trump's crypto business. If a country invested $2 billion in Donald, it can basically do anything with immunity, right? I didn't set the rules. You can bet your ass that the White House will not lift a finger regarding the Sudanese conflict. What's even more ridiculous is that Trump posted a message yesterday saying that he asked the military to make plans to invade Nigeria to save Christians. There has been some ethnic violence in Nigeria, sure, but they were decentralized, small-scale violence. How is the US military going to help? The total death toll in Nigeria conflict in the last 17 years was about the same number as those killed in Sudan last week. So what hit Donald's head that made him prioritize Nigeria? I know dementia is a bitch, but this is not about Donald being his demented self. This statement about Nigeria was posted right after the massacre report came out of Sudan. So it's very hard to believe the two things aren't connected. My theory is that he doesn't want people to talk too much about Sudan and embarrass his UAE investors. So raising another random country's name is like throwing a wrench into the discussion and making the international community lose focus. Sounds like Donald's trademark strategy. I remember watching a documentary about the Rwanda genocide, and it literally gave me a nightmare. You know, mass executions are different from bombings in the way that you know you're gonna die. You know you and your family and your community would die hours or even days before it happened. I feel nauseous just by imagining that scenario. So I really wish the Western countries can grow a pair this time and pressure their oil buddies in the UAE.